as moms, we have to remind ourselves that we're just girls doing it for the first time too.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I remind my daughters too. Like, I'm sorry I messed up. Like this is my first time doing this, you know, and I'm trying too. And I think giving ourselves permission, there is no guidebook. There's no rule book. There's no, you know, it really is. It's a journey of like becoming so many times. There's never a finish line, you know?
That's your next book's title, The Journey of Becoming.
Yeah. Yes.
You're so amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jessica and Meg, you haven't really officially met.
No, we met a little bit.
Yeah, when I was playing around with starting my own podcast. I don't have time for this. What am I doing?
Yeah, that's right. Right.
And you wrote a book, which is a great Mother's Day gift, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ara's here. My daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Hello. They're home from school today.
Oh yeah.
Very exciting.
But she's been
I've been listening this whole time, actually. I'm listening at the same time. And also, I just think that you're amazing, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Great. Even I would get.
I was thinking about getting them their own coffees.
Out of the 365 prompts, there's probably only 10 of them that mention your children. So it really is a book that could be applied to anyone's life. It's just written with the undercurrent of like, I get it. I get your life. And I get that you don't want one more thing to do, but you just want someone to lay the stepping stones down for you.
Welcome back, Mama fans. In part 3 of our conversation with author, mindfulness coach, and speaker Meg Sylvester, author of The Mindful Mom, we explore one of the most powerful ideas we've heard of on the podcast, stepping into your own scary room. Whether it's pursuing a dream, embracing your creativity, or simply giving yourself permission to slow down, fear often shows up right before growth. Meg shares how a writing retreat in Spain challenged her inner critic, why our biggest breakthroughs often begin with discomfort, and how to tell the difference between the dreams that truly belong to us and the ones we think we're supposed to chase. We talk about the beauty of unstructured time, learning to stop filling every second on the calendar, and why motherhood is a journey of becoming, not perfection. If you've ever questioned whether you're enough, wondered if you belong, or felt called towards something that scares you, this conversation is for you. I'm going to read you an excerpt from The Mindful Mom. Color your space. And this makes me think of Catherine Kennedy, who we had on. Just as color in your wardrobe influences your energy, so does color in your home. Soft blues can soothe, bold reds can energize, greens can bring balance, and yellows can spark joy. Surrounding yourself with intentional colors invites your space to support your mood and overall outlook. Me moment. Look around at the colors in one room. What mood do they create? What mood do you want to feel there? Add or change something, a blanket, a candle, a print, that aligns with the energy you want. And that inspires me because often I just have what I have and I accumulate instead of being more specific on the things that make me feel good. So grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, take a deep breath, sip from your water in your car as you're driving, and join us for the inspiring part 3 with Meg Sylvester.
You know, I had a friend, or she's still a dear friend of mine, Kate. And when she to me models this like slow, intentional living. And when we first started hanging out, we were texting, trying to figure out a date that we could get like coffee together. And I was like looking, okay, like what's the first available spot I have in my calendar? You know, where can I squeeze this in? And she suggested a date like 3 to 4 weeks out. And I was like, we can do that. Like we can pick a date like a month out. Like cause I was like, okay, well maybe we can do like Wednesday at 9. I have like a 1 hour break, or Friday, you know, and I just remember like this shift in my being, when she suggested that. And I was like, I didn't know we could do it. I didn't know we could. I thought I had to, like, if there was an open space, then that's when I fill it,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was such a gift, that she gave me by just being her, and it's not like she like explained it or anything. She's just like, how's Monday the 24th at noon? And I was like, whoa, so I think that's a big thing too, of like, just because we have the space doesn't mean we need to fill it,
Right.
having unstructured time, even on vacation. My gosh, like there's so many people, we go on vacation and all the time is structured. It's like, when can we have a break from that?
Yeah, right. That's why people say they need a vacation from their vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, like, on my retreats that I host, it's like, no, it's really a retreat. Like, we're going to sleep and not set our alarms. Like, and we're just going to gather at the coffee table. And if it's 2 hours from the time the first person to the last person moseys down, it's 2 hours, and we just get the gift of like sitting around and like, it's so restorative. And I know that's not realistic in our daily lives, but it is. It's like thinking about these, experiences that you create for yourself. And are they really restorative, or are they just doing the same thing in a different setting?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Could you talk a little bit more about your last retreat?
Like,
and I also want you to, if you may, explain the scary room.
Yes. Yeah. So I just went on a retreat as a participant.
Yeah.
So I was actually on spring break with my family, just like a month ago in March. And I was overstimulated. It was like the pool. We were in Mexico, and the pool, it was like, music starting at 9 a.m. and like just so much noise and so much activity. Yeah. Yeah. And so I went down to the beach and was just laying there, and I opened up Instagram, and my writing mentor, Suzanne Kingsbury, who's the founder of Gateless Writing, just a post came across my feed, 1 spot left for Spain writing retreat. And I was like, I have to go to that. And so I messaged her and was like, is that spot still open? She said yes. And I was like, okay, I'm coming. And then like a week before the retreat, we all had to submit our bios. And a week before the retreat, all the attendees received the list of bios of all the other participants. And I started reading through it like, no, because everyone, I mean, it was like, best-selling novelists, TEDx speakers, like just people with really impressive resumes. And even though I have 2 books out, and even though I love writing, I'm like, well, I'm not a real writer. I'm just someone who writes, but I'm not a writer, and so I was panicking. It actually reminded me of the moment. So my son, my 3rd baby, I did a home birth. And there's this moment that my midwife told me about. And it's like the transition. It's like right before you go from contractions to actually pushing. There's this moment in the brain where you're like a wild animal and you're like, I need to escape. I need to get out of here. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. This is too scary. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And when a medicated birth, our body might not receive those same signals, which were my 2 girls. I was medicated, had the epidural, the works. But my son, I was like, nope, I want to do it differently. Anyway, there's that moment where you're like, nope, I'm getting out of here. And I'll never forget what that felt like. And even my husband saw it. He was like, you were like a wild animal. Like your eyes were like crazy and you were like trying to escape. And anyway, so I had that moment before the retreat, which Suzanne calls the squeeze. But I was like, I know what this is. I know that before any expansive experience, the critic rises and says, no, you should not go.
you should not do this. You should not have this experience, because the critic wants to like keep us from looking foolish. It wants to keep us from looking stupid. So the best way to not look stupid is to stay tucked into your cozy corner of life. So to me, this experience was my scary room. It was stepping into the scary room. And you know what I have kind of like started thinking about the scary room, it's this room that it's scary because it's intimidating, it's overwhelming. We walk in, we see a table, we see an empty chair, we're like, no, I can't sit there. Like everyone, as soon as I sit down, everyone's going to turn their head and stare at me and know that like I don't belong there. And that's the worst feeling in the world, you know? But I knew what was happening. I knew that that's what the critic was trying to tell me. And I was like, oh God, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. You know, so there's no turning back. So got on the plane, flew to Spain, walked in the room, and everyone's so lovely and wonderful, you know, and I'm writing and sharing my pieces, and they're, you know, feeding back what was resonant about my piece. And I'm doing the same, you know, with them. And it's like, I am a real writer. I'm a real writer because I write. And it reminded me of this experience I had with my son. We were in an airport, and all three of my kids were engaging in some sort of like art activity. Like my son was just coloring. My middle daughter was knitting. My oldest daughter was like drawing. She's an amazing artist. And I looked around and I was like, I love that all of my kids are so artistic. And my son, who's 5, was like, what does artistic mean? And I was about to say, it's when you're good at art. And I stopped myself. I was like, no. And so what I said is, it's when you enjoy making art. And he was like, oh, I'm artistic. And I was like, you sure are.
Yeah, and Meg, I love that so much.
Yeah. And I was like, yes. Because like when I said that, I was like, I just created a paradigm in his mind that when you enjoy something, then you are that, you know? And so as I was writing, I was like, I love this so much. And I love the process of writing, just as, you know, you love the process of grappling and creating choreography, you know, and it's that like, it is the grappling that is so satisfying, you know? And so as I was on that writing retreat and writing the pieces and, you know, excavating the expression that wanted to come out, it's like, no, I am a writer. Like I enjoy this process. And so the room became much less scary when I just gave myself permission to be present in it and to do what I do, you know, instead of judging my creation and comparing it against everyone. It's like, no, the process is so satisfying for me. It's more satisfying than the end result, you know, and engaging in that process. So we all have our scary rooms, and we're all called towards our scary rooms. But I think there's a really important line to discern. And that is, sometimes the scary rooms that we feel we're supposed to step into aren't really our scary rooms. They're the rooms that we think we should step into in order to be successful. And then we get at the table and we're like, I don't even like what they're serving. Like, this doesn't satisfy me. I'm not even hungry for this. So it's important to note. Is this your scary room, or is this just a room you were told you were supposed to step into? And that table might not even, it might feel scary because it's just not aligned, you know? And so it's important. That's an important discernment, you know, and only you know that. Is this a room that I think I should be walking into? Or is this a room that there is something magical and mysterious inside of me pulling me towards this room, even though it feels scary? And only you can discern that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so beautiful. You know, I was talking to my dancers 2 weeks ago, and I said, I want you all to know, first of all, how much I love you and I appreciate you. I know you all want to book the job. I know you all want to be in that room. I know you all want that. And that is scary. And it's competitive. And sometimes in the process, we lose the reason why we started doing this in the first place. That feeling never goes away.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling never goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we deal with that feeling and let it, motivate us or make us self-reflect or make us think about, okay, how can I approach this differently? But that feeling of fear is never going to go away. So you might as well have fun in the process.
Yeah.
So, and it felt good to talk to them in that way because I was also talking to myself.
Yeah. There's an interesting thing happening with this idea of imposter syndrome that we all talk about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's two separate things. One of them is it is imposter. There are some people where you are being an imposter because you're trying to step into this space that you're actually not ready to step into. So you feel like an imposter because you need some more training, and that's okay,
Yeah.
But then what's also being labeled as imposter syndrome is the stretch. And every artist is going to feel like an imposter if they're stretching themselves because you're stretching yourself into a space that you haven't been before through your process by what you're creating. And that's what makes us evolve as artists. And so it's not really imposter. You're just stretching yourself,
Mm-hmm.
And so you might feel like an imposter, but you're just stepping into the stretch, by doing what you're meant to do, and that's evolving your process and going into uncharted territory. And so it's like two different things that haven't been separated by the collective narrative yet, and I think that's important to ask yourself, like, well, do I feel like an imposter because I literally am and I shouldn't be teaching this yet,
Right.
and
Right.
having some accountability and integrity, or am I just in the stretch? So I think that's really important to like ask yourself and check in with yourself.
True. That's the stretch. Well,
Mhm.
yeah. And because that I think you're right, is like, if you're on your way to something, then you are in that lane that it's often considered not your lane.
It's just so nuanced.
I always feel like
Right.
I learned so much from you.
Oh, thanks.
On a side note, I take it with me all the time, the part about like that you don't have to do everything in the timeline. Like that
Mhm.
it might happen just because you're not doing it right now, like doesn't mean it won't happen down the road. And you're like you talked about like taking breaks also.
Mhm.
And it
Mhm.
just gives me such peace. Like some days where I'm like, I just can't do it. I'm like, no, remember Meg said it's okay to take your break.
Just have me on your shoulder.
Yes, you're on my shoulder.
Okay.
Your little
Yeah.
angel.
Like a little
Oh.
A naughty angel.
I'm just gonna be popping in now and then.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you guys. Yeah, the rest of my day. So I had this podcast, and next I'm going to therapy. I started doing like EFT therapy. And then after that, I have a tarot card reading. And then after that, I have to film an audition. It's like, I love my day.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, Meg, it's been so awesome catching up with you again. And you're
Likewise.
just incredible and doing such amazing things. I do love I was going to start a podcast, but I wrote a book instead.
Yeah.
That's
Very
That's
me.
a great viral title. That's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful and so true to like all the great, clear things that you have to offer. So thank you so much for today
Thank you.
and for being an OG, man. You're going to come back for a third time.
Well, the answer is yes.
Yeah, you could be a 5-timer. We'll do 5
Yes,
timers.
please. We're gonna start giving away the SNL jackets, like our
Yeah.
5 timers club.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Mama's blazer.
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh, well, we love you, Meg. Thank you for being with
Love
us.
you guys. Thank you.
And guess what, Mama's fans? If you love listening to Meg, she's launching a podcast. So follow her for updates.
Creative Mamas Unplugged is produced by Breatheasy Productions with music by Jeremy Jurin. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to give my mama 5 stars and keep coming back. Thanks to us kids, there are plenty of stories to tell, and you are not alone.
We are inspired by you. Thank you for joining our Creative Mamas community. Support Creative Mamas Unplugged on Patreon to get your name in the credits, receive extra content, and earn some fun prizes. With this, we can keep creating, uplifting, and growing this incredible community together. We love you so much. Applause.